Alright guys, we're wrapping up the last part of lesson 11-4B. This is our third video. This is page 10 on your notes there. And the following table shows the fuel usage data of Sam's truck, right? And we need to find the slope of the data. Remember, that's the same thing as rate of change, or we used to call it step, right? And we could have an abbreviation for M. In fact, let's write what the idea of slope is here with the formula. It is slope is the change of y over the change of x. And when you look at these tables, you have to know in these vertical tables that column 1 is x and column 2 is y. So if you come right here and go, hey, 4 plus 2 is 6, you know what your y change is right there. And then if you use these two rows, come right over here and use the same two rows, and you'd go, hey, 80 plus what's 120? 40. So my x change is 40. What does that simplify down to? 1 over 20. So what's my slope from this? 1 over 20. Now, this is more of a real world table. It's labeled the x's are miles traveled. So guess what your x number is? This is miles, 20 miles. What is your y? Well, y is the number of gallons used. So this would be 1 gallon. So how much fuel is Sam's truck using? It's using 20 miles for every 1 gallon of fuel. And that's just how it's laid out, and that's how we steal and label the parts of slope there from the information that's given to us. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to graph this data down here, and I'd like to get the slope from this graph and just make sure that it is the exact same slope that we got up here from the table. So I've titled it, I've got my x and y labeled. I'm going to look back up at my table to see what in the world my x numbers represent again. And it says that x should be miles traveled. So I'm going to come back down to my graph and I'm going to label my x numbers as the number of miles traveled. And then if you look at the table again for the y, it's just the number of gallons that the fuel used. So we're going to label my y-axis this. And I noticed that the highest number of gallons of fuel used was 10, and so I've got 14 that I can put up through here. So I'm just going to label my y-axis as 1s going straight up. And then looking at my data for the x's, I noticed that, it's in increments of 20s, and it goes up to 200. So if I had 10 spots, I could get 200 miles on it. Now, I noticed that it's starting to look a little crowded over here on my y-axis, putting every single number in. So instead of going 0 and calling this one 20, I just left 20 out, called this one 40, left 60 out. And you can see I actually had them in there, so I erased them. And this makes it look just a little bit better. You can do that. And now let's just go put our data points in here. The first ordered pair in our table said 80 miles used 4 gallons. So there we have it. Our second ordered pair used 120 miles, but it used 6 gallons of fuel. 160 miles uses 8 gallons. And 200 miles uses 10 gallons of fuel. Let's go through here and let's just connect it. Put our line in through all of our data points. And now choose any 2 points that you want and find your change of y over your change of x. Well, to go from this point to this point, we're going to have to go up 2 from 4 to 6. So our change of y is 2. Oops. And then to go from here over, it's 2 square lengths, but what does that mean on the x-axis? Well, this went from 80 to 120, so I'd have to add 40 to 80 to get over to 120. So this change is showing a change of x, a change of 40. So I'm going to put 40 right here. And that does simplify down to 1 over 20, which again would be 1 gallon of fuel for 20 miles traveled, which is what we expected to find. So how do you find it on a graph? We've looked at it again on 11-4A, but you can go up and over, or you can go down, that sort of thing. Put your change of y over your change of x. Just be careful trying to figure out how much it actually changed by.